Welcome everybody, it's race number 5 of the MRC Cup Series season. We're here today at the Chicagoland Motor Speedway, not too far outside of Chicagoland, Illinois proper, for the 5th race of the season, quarter of the way through the season after Bristol last time we raced. And this is our 3rd mile-and-a-half track of the season. And it looks like today Alpha Connolly is locking out the front row. Dylan Connolly, the team owner, sitting on the pole for the very first time, and right beside him is Cody Lamas, who is just barely avoiding getting his second pole of the season, starting there in 2nd place. Cody Lamas with a 4th place at Bristol and a 2nd at Atlanta, so looking to continue that role that he's on right now. And like I mentioned, 3rd mile-and-a-half track of the year, and our best mile-and-a-half finisher, Luis Hernandez, currently starting, or he's going to be starting 8th place today. Got a 7th at Homestead and a 4th at Atlanta, so looking to continue the little streak that he is on as well. Last time that we raced, Eric DeMax won Bristol, to the dismay of a lot of people. And he is going to be starting in 40th place here today, so pretty far to the back, and Bobby Jones is not too far away from where he is going to be starting in the 37th position ahead of him. Points situation, Spike Stinson is leading by 1 point over the aforementioned Luis Hernandez. Today Spike is starting 27th, and we mentioned that Luis is going to be starting in 8th place today, so a lot of work to be done for Spike Stinson today if he looks to keep that points lead. And speaking of the points, we have some LCQ drivers who sadly will not be with us today. Stephen Colon, DJ Curtis, Ryan Reed, Richard Johnson, Tristan Allen, Cal Farrell, Aiden Smith, Dane Stinson, George Buffalo, and Natan Amawedo will not be with us here today, unfortunately. And Skylar Taylor will be debuting for ST Motorsports. And that is pretty much going to wrap up the preliminaries here as we get ready to start the engines at any moment now. And the pace car pulls off, and the leaders take off at a pretty brisk pace there. I'm not really too sure what they're up to, but we're going to get through as much of the starting lineup as I can try to get through today. Mentioned Alpha Connolly, Dylan Connolly, and Cody Lamas locking out row number 1. Troy Williams making his first start since Atlanta in P3 right there. Tristan Woolhoyt, 3rd place in the point standings, is starting in 4th place. Ryan Jasper, teammates of the Alpha Connolly boys, with another pretty good starting spot for that team, 5th place. Dan Rivera making his first start in quite some time, actually. Well, actually he made Bristol, but looking to continue the little run that he's on, trying to just stay in the race. RJ Bishop making his first start since Homestead. Luis Hernandez in 8th place. You see there AJ Jones 9th, Harry Klein in 10th, Cam Wessard 11th, Michael Swaney 12th, Austin Pebbles 13th, RJ Reynolds in the 14th spot over there, Seth Cole and Blake Warren in the row behind them. Excuse me, Jacques Decock in that 35 alongside Emmy Scazzato in the row following them. I've lost where I am. But yeah, getting ready to start here at Chicagoland, and we are green flag racing for the United Airlines 200. And Williams already trying to make a run up for 2nd place there, trying to get around Cody Lamas. He's got a good help from Ryan Jasper behind him. It's a pretty lonely Ford up here at the front. Connolly with a pretty good lead up there, 3 wide with Rivera, Hernandez, and it looks like AJ Jones there. Connolly is going to lead lap number 1, and he's got some teammates behind him, and Jasper looking to make it 3 teammates in a row in the top 3. And I don't think he's going to be able to get that move done just quite yet. Ooh, a little bit of close racing there with AJ Jones in the middle of the 3 wide situation. Austin Pebbles now in the middle of 3 wide as well. 3 wide, 3 rows deep, and we got even more action well behind them. Chicagoland, a kind of deceptively wide track for a mile and a half. Pretty fast racing track here. However, that backstretch could be a little tricky. It is a little curvy. Jasper on the outside, 3 wide, and that's just allowing Cody Lamas and Connolly to... I thought they were just going to pull away and maybe work together, but that is not the case. Lamas going for the lead here early. Like we mentioned, Lamas has been on a roll in the point standings. He's looking to continue that. And 3 wide, all over the place here. And see, kind of like a resemblance to pack racing. Keeping it clean so far, though. And man, it looks like Harry Klein might have a piece here today, as he is approaching the leaders pretty fast here early on in the run. Michael Sweeney as well, and don't count out RJ Bishop. Like we said, his first race back since Homestead, but he finished 23rd there. So it wasn't necessarily a bad run for him that day. He tries to make the move with Swanee up ahead. Doesn't look like that'll happen, though. And now they've kind of sorted it out to about 2x2 on back. Everyone's kind of starting to figure it out. Points leader Spike Stinson. Last time he went by the line, he was 22nd. So he's kind of working his way up here. He's made up 5 spots at least so far, and he's going to try to make up one more by passing the debuting Skylar Taylor. An unsponsored car. Sure, a good finish at Chicagoland might get them a logo on that race car. So work our way back up through the front. Hernandez up top in the 3 wide situation. AJ Jones in the middle there. He's pretty much been in the middle of 3 wide this entire start to the race so far. It looks like he might have sorted it out a little bit as he dives it to the bottom. Oh, looks like Harry Klein has made the move on Dylan Connolly, and mentioned him having a pretty fast piece, it looked like so far. And doesn't look like I was really wrong about that. Connolly is still going to try to get the move done on Harry Klein, though. And Lama, as we mentioned, really strong run these last 2 races. I think that could very well continue here. That Alpha Connolly team has seemed to be the one that has truly figured it out, at least in these first 4 races. And we are 3 wide once again back here. Carlos Mendez on the bottom. Vargas behind him. Stinson in the middle as well with Corey Williams. There's the other Alpha Connolly car. It's Joey Murphy. You can go over the 3 wide situation there. Hasn't really had the best of runs this season. Finished 29th at Bristol, and he's DNF Daytona, Atlanta so far. But in 11th place at Homestead. Oh, we have trouble. Oh, man, big contact. That's Corey White. Oh, man, 2 Team SB cars involved in that one. And, oh, Testicle coming by very far back, and big trouble. Oh, man, we just mentioned Alpha Connolly as well. That's Ryan Jasper out. Oh, Skylar Taylor in their debut. Not good. Ash Curtis, Jacques DeCock, RJ Reynolds, and Shane Sides is definitely going to be out of it. And that looks to be the extent of what happened there. Now, we didn't see the cause of what happened, but oh man, definitely saw the effects. So, yeah, that looks to be pretty much all the results from that incident there. Let's take a look and see what happened to bring that one out. I'm sure they're going to come in and pit here. And, yeah, well, I guess we'll see how they line up after that. Alright, taking a look at the replay here. And you just see Emi Scazzato just kind of out of nowhere. Just coming in way too hot. Into turn 1 there and just kind of just domino effects everyone into the wall, and there's a lot of torn up race cars from that incident. And I mean, eventually one of these cars is just going to slide down, and you're going to see, yep, Corey Williams right in the back of Scazzato, and that collects teammate Shane Sides of Williams. Ash Curtis, Skylar Taylor also catching that. And yeah, just heavy impact for a lot of these guys. Especially Shane Sides. Just not having the best of luck in the last couple races. Started off the season hot, but it's going to be the second DNF for Shane in 3 races. And it's a lot of torn up race cars and a lot of angry drivers, I'm sure. As Hemi Scazzotto goes from 9th to pretty much dead last on this one from it's kind of a little bit too aggressive of a move early on here. So we're going to see how they shake out from the pit stops, and we're going to go back going green. Alright, back here at Chicagoland for our first restart of the day. And Harry Klein ends up taking the lead from Cody Lamas there from the pit stop cycle, and pretty much everyone who was involved in that wreck that got all the heavy damage is now out of this race. We have 36 cars on the lead lap. Testicle came in early for an unscheduled pit stop. So I guess we'll see if they can end up getting their laps back. I think they're one down now, so if they get a fast race car and then get around that 66, they could potentially get this race back in their hands, but I guess we'll see here. Not too sure about that. Maybe the lucky dog will come into play, who knows. But yeah, Harry Klein leads him back to the stripe, and we're going to hope for a bit calmer racing and maybe no dive bombs from anybody there. Very unfortunate accident to start this one. That's just going to drop Shane down the point standings even more. He's just been having a horrible luck these last couple of races. But luckily Team SB has Luis Hernandez and also Eric Rodriguez silently crawling his way up through the field as well every single week. And, we'll see how those points shake out after this race. Hernandez is probably the most consistent driver we've had so far. There's your points leader Spike Stinson, and behind him Bobby Jones, who probably should have had 2 wins this season. Just all thanks to Eric DeMax, who's not too far ahead of him that they were taken away. DeMax winning Bristol just 1 race after wiping out most of the field at Atlanta, being a lap down. Yeah, not a lot of drivers are happy with him, and you see Bobby Jones charging hard. I'm thinking he's smart enough to know that intentional wrecking will be met with punishment, as Eric DeMax has found out. So he takes it 3 wide on Mendez and Friesen. And he might get that job done. And it looks like he will there. Now back up to Hernandez and Rodriguez, trying to work that top side there. Crawling their way up through the top 10. Connolly has set the pole for today's race. So looks like he just doesn't have the car for a longer run. So he's been falling back pretty much every single start of the race there. Might just be a 1-lap hero. Testicle really desperately trying to get that lap back. Just kind of hoping for another caution, I'm thinking. Austin Pebbles working their way up into the top 5 here today. Pretty strong run early on for him and Dan Rivera, who desperately both need this. Both outside the cut line. Rivera well outside 41st. Pebbles hasn't DNQ'd yet. Oh man, Connolly really going for kind of an aggressive move similar to Scazzotto. Met with the back end of the 17 machine. 54 hasn't DNQ'd yet. I don't want to jinx him, but having a very strong run today could get him out ahead of that LCQ Lion. And hopefully Warren Racing can continue their campaign that they've been on. Currently Warren Racing in the team points is 4th place. Very strong runnings from Barksdale and Warren. Kind of keeping that team afloat in the last couple races. Now it's Harry Klein in the lead. Pretty strong run for him. Homestead and Atlanta were his 2 best finishes of the season. They're both 16th place, but running well ahead of that now. His teammate Christian Vargas has kind of been the talk of that team for the season, but Klein has kind of steadily just been chilling in the point standings, just 23rd, while Vargas has been 6th. Vargas currently in 20th, that's showing on the table there. Cody Lamas, though, getting a little impatient with that lap down car. It looks like, though, he's going to try to make the move. Poking him out of the way. It looks like Swanee might help him out. Swanee involved in that awful wreck at Atlanta. But he is okay. Treated by the Armored Pet Hospital. As I believe my sources were correct in telling me that. AJ Jones, pretty good run. Nathan Kiani, 9th in the standings. Has also just been in very solid performances. And man, DeMax is really making a hell of a run here. He got all those points back that he lost from Bristol. Taking that win. Or all the points that he lost from Atlanta, taking that win at Bristol. Cam Vanderhorst in his first race back in quite some time. Well, he just DNQ'd Bristol, but 2 DNFs at Homestead in Atlanta. He is hanging on strong here today. You know, hopefully nothing happens to him, but 45th in the standings, desperately needs a top 10 here. He's gonna do everything he can to get it, I'm sure. Misfit Motorsports only down 1 driver this week, as opposed to the 2 that they're usually down with. And there's the other driver, Tristan Wilhoit in that Nord Pass car. Buddy Barksdale and Roberto Crown Jr., they were kind of having some pretty strong runs at the beginning of the season, but starting to fall off here. Crown has only been going downhill since Daytona. 7th, 8th, 15th, and 26th at Bristol, and currently in the 30s right now. Or 27th, it just looks worse because of all the cars at DNF that I didn't really notice. Not as bad as it seems, I suppose. Carter Friesen's kind of been dropping like a rock today. But yeah, through 28 laps, Harry Klein hanging on pretty strong here at Chicagoland. And I guess we'll take a quick little break here, and we'll come back when it's more exciting. We're through 35 laps here at the United Airlines 200, and we have a pass for the lead. Michael Swaney getting a little brave here for Flipside Motorsports. It's been pretty much a story of the Toyotas so far. These 3 up at the front. Austin Pebbles working at Chevy, trying to get up into the top 3. As yeah, Dan Rivera is going to help Michael Sweeney through, and he is going to take the lead for, I believe, the first time today. Approaching that lap down, or soon to be lap down machine of RJ Reynolds, if he's not already. Very damaged from that wreck earlier. And yeah, new leader Michael Sweeney, and Harry Klein just getting past, and that moves him all the way to 4th place. So a bit of tire fall off, it looks like. We're not going to be seeing pit stops for, I don't think, another 20 or so laps. Austin Pebbles now in 3rd place, really trying to work that F54 out of that LCQ zone. You know, strong run today will do that for him. And man, it looks like Rivera and Pebbles had the same idea to just shoot it to the low side. That Tire Pros machine doing everything he can. Pebbles with the 17th at Homestead. I mean, it's not really a similar shape track, but in terms of the length, I suppose a bit of experience would help there. It's our first track of, I guess, the shape and size, I suppose. So we will be going to Vegas and Auto Club for the last 2 races of the season, so this is kind of a good little precursor to how things will end. So I guess you know, the runs here could potentially set us up for what we'll see maybe in the championship deciding races. So Might be good to pay attention here to see what will happen later on in the season. It isn't always a one-to-one indicator, but I mean, you know your setup here will work out very strongly. It'll be interesting to see what everyone brings out to Vegas. See if there's any setup adjustments. Alpha Connolly boys still hanging on strong there in the top 10, just outside of the top 5 each. As Lamas once again trying to just make the pass on Dylan Connolly. Kind of shows that there's equality among drivers in that team, which is nice to see. I mean, he's not afraid to go after his team owner if he has to. He went after him about lap 1, so. Or perhaps no love lost, you know, who knows. I guess we'll see after some reports from when they get back to the shops and everything. Blake Warren trying to get around the lap down car of Tez Tickle. Very strong run for him as well. He's had 2 top 10s on the season, looking for a 3rd here today. Eric Rodriguez fighting AJ Jones. Rodriguez, 21st in the points stand. He's lost a lot of positions from Bristol. Trying to work that Team SB car back up into the top 10 where, I mean, just the on-track performance has really shown that he probably should be up there, but the results just really haven't came. AJ Jones, another one of those drivers trying to get out of the LCQ zone. Also just trying to make a pass on Eric Rodriguez here. And the other Eric in our field, Eric DeMax. Remember, he started 40th, and currently, I mean, there's only been a couple cars taken off from that wreck, but he's up to 11th place right now. So very strong run for that guy. And team has put everything they can into that 36. It's just Ryan Reed is not making races apparently. Neither is his team. It's Ryan Reed Motorsports. I don't think he's really had much luck. Nelson Figueroa not making this race at least. Well, Johnson neither actually. Yeah, so both cars not making this race today. So Cam Vanderhorst. So I haven't mentioned Zachary Fitzwaters had pretty silent, decent runs throughout the season so far. At 3rd at Homestead, and then just unfortunately caught up in an awful wreck at Atlanta. And 31st at Bristol, so maybe not as decent as I thought, but I mean, you look at the way that he has been running, it just seems like that car should be further up the field than it has been. And a bit of calamity here. They're stuck behind the lap down car of Jacques Lecoq. Oh man, he goes nearly to block Cam Vanderhorst, and Connolly just dropping like a rock now. Started so far up the field. Started on the pole to be, in fact. And yeah, just not a good run for him today. It's looking promising. Spike Simpson going to be the benefactor of that, and by all those guys. And back up towards the front, Austin Pebbles doing everything he can to try to work on Michael Swiney here. Trying to use that top side, which has worked for a couple people. But to no avail this time by. It's 47 laps in the books. Soon to be 48 here coming to the line. And Michael Swiney in the Irwin Tools machine leads him into the next phase of the race. Pit stops will be coming up here pretty soon, and we'll join you once again when things just get a little more exciting. 67 laps in the books of this one now. And Michael Swiney up trying to take the lead back from Austin Pebbles, as they are soon approaching the pit stop cycle of this one. Trying to get that 54 just a little loose, it looks like. And yeah, it looks like it might work this time by. But the high side on these older tires, they might work to Austin Pebbles' favor here. We'll see, man. The 18's still hanging on strong on the bottom though. Might have saved his stuff a little more than the 54 has. As Rivera, Lamas, and Klein still hanging on strong. Kiani crawling his way up to the field. Testicle still Kind of just vibing up here with the leaders. It's looking for any opportunity to get that lap back. Not sure if that'll happen though. Close racing here for P number 1. We're at the end of the first fuel run here, and the race for the lead just hasn't really stopped all race. Rivera once again trying to help that Toyota get around Austin Pebbles. Down the backstretch, drag racing. Pebbles still trying to hang on around the outside. At the quarter panel now, the door just about even. See the helicopter cam here. Man, they are just racing so hard. Looks like Rivera's going to try to make it 3. It's looking for a race for the win here, but I mean, just over halfway through. Isn't really quite the case yet. 17 doing everything he can to get that 18 by that 54. I think he knows that he's faster than Swanee, but he needs a little help. Making it 3 isn't really going to help anyone out. Cody Lamas now, who started second, coming off of 2 consecutive top 5s, looking to make it 3 today. Looking for any room. He's going to try to help the Chevy out, as the manufacturer alliances are coming into play. Who's Nathan Chiani going to try to go with here? Is Testicle going to help out anyone? This is just coming to the end of the first fuel run here. Oh, and oh man, nearly contact from Pebbles and Llamas, as Cody tries to snipe away second place. He sends Rivera back to 4th. Trying to break up this Toyota play that's going on. Trying to prevent them from winning 2 races in a row. As Michael Swanee, pretty commanding lead through this first stint of the race. Did lose to the Pebbles temporarily, but he got it back pretty quickly. Once again approaching RJ Reynolds. As oh man, Austin Pebbles setting it way up high. Now the top side is starting to come into effect. He's going to try to cross over Cody. Is it going to work? You see side by side entering the corner. Austin Pebbles with something to prove here today. RJ Reynolds coming in. Maybe just trying to get out of the way from the leaders. The race for second has just been insane this entire race, as well as the race for first, but it seems like everyone wants to be a rear gunner trying to come into this pit stop cycle. As, oh man, Eric the Max now coming into play. See, the field is still relatively within striking distance of all these guys. Max trying to work on Blake Warren here. Oh, a bit of a bump there. Oh, Dan Rivera not coming in. So that's our, looks like that might be the only one of our leaders to concede so far. The Max is driving impatient, putting the bumper to Blake Warren to move him out of the way. Dangerous move there. Can't say I'm surprised. And is anyone else coming in this time by? Looks like Swanee maybe is going really low. Yep. Slowing that car down. Gonna try to make pit speed. Ash Curtis as well, one of the lap down cars. Oh, Cam Wassard nearly wiping out Testicle. Wassard, another one of those drivers who hasn't made many races. It's only his second start of the season. Man, he's got a piece here. Oh, looks like he came in for a pit stop. Is what happened there. Not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. I thought he saved maybe this entire run. Austin Pebbles now comes in. Cody Lamas and Klein are going to stretch it, as well as a couple other drivers. Oh, Eric Rodriguez. Heavy damage on the back end. Not quite sure what happened there. I could have swore he had a clean race car. What happened there? Maybe some contact going in the pit road. It looks like he came in as well. That car looking very short. That poor car. That looks so crazy. Robinson Klein still stretching this one out, as well as a couple other guys. Blake Warren trying to desperately get around Eric Rodriguez, trying not to lose any time approaching the pit road here. Jones, Bishop, Friesen, Brown Jr. Looks like Seth Cole in the background there. Shock the Cock now coming out. See if they come in this time. Not quite yet. I thought Harry Klein might have been. I think Kyler Sustride might be a lap down. I think all these guys are a lap down except Kiani up here. So Kiani is stretching as well. And Kiani is at a very, very good long run car, so this might be the play here. I'm thinking it is. Christian Vargas staying out. AJ Jones, Zach Fitzwater. Points leader Spike Simpson, Dylan Connolly. I think that's the play for him. Just staying out. Oh, we have trouble in the back. Oh, Luis Hernandez. Second of points involved. Carlos Mendes. Oh, heavy trouble. Tristan Woolhoit in that one. Oh, I thought we were going to have another impact. And that is going to bring the yellow out. And that is the reason you stretch it sometimes. What a call there from Harry Klein and Cody Lamas to stay out here. Oh, it doesn't look like Lamas stayed out. Oh, man. Hell of a call there from Harry Klein. Oh, and Christian Vargas. Man, these Revolution Racing boys, they know exactly what they're doing. What a great call there. We're going to have to see what brought out that yellow. Oh, man, Pedro Lucas in that one. And that is going to trap a lot of cars a lap down, potentially. As now the 66 concedes and heads into the pit road here. So, probably going to be going green with 50 laps to go. We're going to see what brought out that yellow to pretty much bring this race to a grinding halt strategy-wise. And, yeah, it's just going to be a crazy lineup once we get back going green here. Alright, taking a look at our replay here. This is Pedro Lucas, currently in 11th. And remember, we were in the middle of a pit cycle. And you see RJ Reynolds just with the run of a lifetime. And Pedro is just not going to notice him coming. And he just washes up right in front of him, puts the 69 in the wall. And that Surfshark machine is going to take a bit of a tumble here. Michael Swaney and Luis Hernandez. Man, they're just going to sandwich Hernandez there. Swanee doing a very, very good job to avoid any of that. And with fresh tires at 18 could be a piece to look at. However, Carlos Mendez, not so lucky. Just head on smacks him. Murphy and Pebbles avoid that. However, ahead, Tristan Woolhoit, I think he avoided that one. Gets in the RJ Reynolds after. Bobby Jones is gonna avoid it. And I think that is the extent of everything to bring out caution number 2. So yeah, just different pit cycles, and that'll do it here. That is what happens when you just have two cars at just wildly different speeds. We saw it at Atlanta, even though that was a bit more egregious than other places, but yeah, this one purely accidental, it looks like. So yeah, we're gonna get back going green here. Looks like Harry Klein might have the lead coming out of this pit cycle. We'll see if that's the case and get back going for the second restart of the day. Alright, back at Chicagoland, and the car we're looking at is not the leader of the race right now. That would be Mr. Cody Lamas in that 48 machine there. Just the way pit cycles work when there's a yellow flag, that's just kind of how it is. So pretty much everyone on back there, I think aside from, actually the 82 got on the lead lap, so I mean, we'll see if that's the case once we actually get going. But yeah, Michael Sweeney is going to lead him to the line. However, yeah, this is just a big race to get away from Cody Lamas and just not get put a lap down. So we'll see if that plan works as intended. I think it's going to be a bit of a mess, but what do I know? We get going green here, everyone on fresh, or nearly fresh tires, and off we go. This is the race for 15th place at the front here, so something to pay attention to. Oh my god, what is happening? Eric Rodriguez, oh no. And yep, that's another big incident. That's going to take out a lot of the lead-off cars. Oh no, points leader Spike Stinson and Solo Luis Hernandez involved in that one. Tristan Wolhoit, that's the entire points top 3 in that one. That's Jones and Crown out. Man, Crown just having a horrible just downward spiral right now. Nick Breeding, who it's been needing to make races so far this season, just unfortunate for him. Hernandez Reynolds has been in every crash. AJ Jones maybe escaping that. Bobby Jones, however, not. And all the smoke covering that front stretch. Looks like Evero Homo didn't avoid that one either. And I think there's still a race back to the green for the cars who are ahead. I could be wrong. It looks like they might be slowing down. I'm not sure. It's a weird pit cycle stuff. But, yeah, that's caution number 3 on the day, and I think we all know the saying about cautions and what they do to create other cautions, so not sure if we're going to get a pit stop here, but yeah, we're going to see what compelled Eric Rodriguez to wipe out the field here. Alright, so looking at replay number 3 of the day. Austin Pebbles just ends up hooking the slower SB car of Eric Rodriguez, who was involved in some sort of incident earlier on. I probably should have looked at, but I digress. We're gonna see Rodriguez. He just tries to keep the momentum going, and I'm not sure if it was just a revenge mission here, but either way, it didn't really work out in his favor. He takes out Roberto Crown instead, and heavy impact for Crown, and that's gonna leave Will Hoyt nowhere to go, and he's just gonna ricochet as well as Crown into pretty much everyone back here. Takes out Hernandez, Jones, Testicle, Nathan Kiani gets a little piece of it. Spike Stinson gets hit from Connolly from behind. Vargas, it looks like he escapes it. However, it doesn't look like Lamas or Nick Breeding is going to get away unscathed in this one. As the front row getting involved in this one. Unfortunate for Cody Lamas, who's looking to continue his strong run of races. And oh, man, it looks like Cam Lassard and Bobby Jones also got into some sort of incident here. So let's rewind and take a look at this one. Oh, Victor Nunez involved in this one. Well, there's the wreck in the background. Let's see what exactly happened here. Guess I didn't really think that to look at Bobby Jones when I saw his rear end just tore up. I thought he was just involved in that accident. Nunez, oh man, I think he just goes for a Schizzotto-like dive bomb there and just misjudges it. Oh, is it going to take out Blake Warren? Or not Blake Warren, Carlos Estrada. Oh, heavy impact for Victor Nunez. And it looks like Jacques the Cock is going to get a piece of it as well. Yep, and that's what bends up the back end of Bobby Jones there. Oh, Fitzwater nearly gets into it. Oh, I thought Figueroa missed this race. Well, there they are. I was wrong about them earlier. And I think Cam Lassard just maybe loses it on their own. Could be wrong. Oh no, Gabriel, no. Okay, well. A lot going on in this race here today, especially in the latter half of it. So, yeah, that's caution number 3, and Cody Lamas nearly wiped out 35 there. But yeah, we're gonna get back going green, and hopefully green till the end of this one. But we'll see. I'm not too entirely sure about that. Alright, 22 cars on the lead lap as we get ready to go green once again here at Chicagoland. Harry Klein will lead them to the stripe. Joey Murphy, Alcid Figueroa, Zach Fitzwater, Gerber Hamon, Nathan Kiani, your top 6. Connolly working his way back into the top 10. Vargas, Spike Stinson, and Michael Swiney. That will round out your top 10. Stinson still in this race, even with the minor damage from that accident. Really just trying to do anything to hang on to the points lead that they have and all the points that they could gain today. However, they're in the middle of a crazy situation here going into turn 3 on this restart. Cam Vanderhorst diving it to the bottom of the track. Is he on the lead lap? I think he is. Yes, he is. 13. He desperately needs a solid run after the DNFs and DNQs that he's had. However, Harry Klein just absolutely taken off. And oh, we have another incident. That's Joey Murphy. Oh man, that's just Oh, yeah, here we go. Gabriel Hamo just mentioned. Ash Curtis definitely definitively out of this one now. And that might take Joey Murphy. It looks like his car is crabbing a little bit. It's another Alpha Connolly car involved in an accident. And Jacques Lecoq is... Probably should have just parked that thing a while ago. And Bobby Jones, string of bad luck, just kind of continues. Atlanta wasn't their race. I mean, it really was until it wasn't anymore. And then Bristol just escaped them for the win. So, yeah. So, caution number 4, I think. We'll take a look at this one. Alright, taking a look at the replay. And once again, I think it's just either misjudging the speed or just... You just can't control the run that they have, but Murphy tries kind of sends it a little bit too much there and just takes a weird line and ends up collecting Hamo and Ash Curtis there until Jacques Lecoq gets by, and that just crunches up 39 of Bobby Jones. Christian Vargas also getting a little piece of that one. Luckily, nothing else came out of that further up the field, but yeah, that's just about it to bring out that yellow flag. And poor Bobby Jones, just kind of innocent bystander and all of that. And once again, another caution flag. And Harry Klein, let's say pit, they're going to lead us back going green here once again. Well, not too far away from just about 30 laps to go, as Harry Klein once again leads the field to the stripe. Got Kyler Sustry and Jacques Lecoq, who's defiantly hanging on in this one still to the inside. See if anyone can get that 66 out of the lead. If anyone could, it might be another Toyota, as Figueroa will try to do everything they can to get that Ace machine out of there. Kyler Sustry, the lap down machine. A lot of the drivers are going to do everything they can to just get around that car, I'm sure. Johnny getting a bit of help there from Connolly. Blake Warren trapped on the inside behind that 12 machine. Max thinking about the line they want to take. They'll go low, and then they will go high. Max kind of the benefactor of a lot of unfortunate incidents today. None that they caused, which is a first, I suppose. Lightly just staying in the top 10 here today. See, they went from 37th to 26th last week. So I guess we'll see what they do this time with the top 10 run. Buddy Barksdale, pretty solid run for them. They were near the back pretty much this entire race up until all those accidents. Christian Vargas in 11th spot trying to take them out of there. I think as of now, Vargas probably would be the biggest benefactor out of everyone in the top 10 in terms of points. Stinson, Hernandez, Woolhoit, and Crown are pretty well out of this one. Seth Cole still hanging on, though. He's in 4th place. Oh, we have another wreck. That's Michael Sweeney and Carter Friesen. And it looks to be just those guys. For the race back to the line, it looks like Harry Klein still maintaining the lead of this one. And yeah, these guys just can't stay clean. Oh, Spike Stinson coming in. Not sure what for, but take a lot. I mean, oh, it's maybe just avoiding the wreck. I'm not too sure what they went down to the pits for. Yeah, it's going to be freezing out of this one, and 20. It's a lot of progress they're going to lose here today after having the lead pretty early on. So, take a look at another replay, and we'll get back going green right after that. Just kind of the cycle that we're going with today. Well, 2 different drivers, 2 different cars, but pretty much the same outcome as it has been every other time that this has happened. Sweeney just going for the same bit of real estate that Carter Friesen had. They just barely avoided wiping out Eric the Max, but hard impact for Carter Friesen. And yeah, that just takes out Sweeney and Friesen. Just 2 very good cars that unfortunately are now out of contention in running this one. So it's caution number 5 or 6 and a half. I've pretty much lost count at this point, but we'll get back going green. About just under 30 to go, and see if anyone can kick that 66 out of the top spot. Alright, well the story mostly stays the same as Harry Klein will once again lead them to the stripe 31 to go. Figueroa, Kiani, Connolly, Lauren, the Max, RJ, Bishop, Christian Vargas, Buddy Barksdale, and Cam Vanderhorst working his way up into the top 10 here today. Clear green once again. Let's see if that 38 can do anything they can to get around Harry Klein. Spike Stinson, they came into the pits, I'm not sure what for, before that yellow came out, as they are now a lap down. Let's see if maybe another caution could bring them back around and save whatever points that they could gather, as Figueroa is going to try to work around the outside of that 60. However, Harry Klein is not complaining whatsoever. They have a bit of a buffer there to second place, and Stinson's going to do everything they can to fight for that lap back. So it looks like it might just be a race for second here if they can't figure this out. Max closing in on another top 5. Would be their third of the season, 5 races in. Second at Homestead, first at Bristol, currently 5th at Chicagoland, 6th place at Daytona. And the only race that they didn't finish in the top 10 was that Atlanta race that they decided to kill everyone in. So Team Toms, they have one good car. Maybe spread that development across too, and perhaps get Eric DeMax some help. Oh man, both Nunez and looks like Vanderhorst had the same exact idea there, so we have a lot of monochrome cars in the same spot now. That's just unusual looking. But I mean, black and white looks very nice on a race car. Vanderhorst trying to do everything they can to now get around the lead lap car of Testicle. Been so conditioned to thinking that they're a lap down, but yeah, they're back in the lead lap now after that early pit stop in the race. Kind of taking middle 3 wide for like either 15th or whatever this is. It looks like that Misfit Motorsports machine might do it. Losing a little bit of sponsorship after some bad runs, and Sir Tristan Allen's car probably wouldn't have looked too dissimilar to this one. Fortunately, Tristan Woolhoit is carrying everything for that team. Dylan Connolly working their way back up towards the front where they started. Kind of counted them out early on in the race, and they just kind of sunk back to about 20th place. But they're back in this one. Race per second is really heating up here. Blake Warren, RJ Bishop, and Fitzwater trying to work their way up into that fight there. And Seth Cole now slowly working his way up into the top 10. Remember, they missed Daytona. Currently 4th in the standings. Got a 1st, a 13th, and a 3rd. One of the more consistent drivers in the field out of those races. So I think, yeah, they best average finish is about 6th place. That's only through 3 races that they've been in now. Everyone else has been in 4. However, I don't really think that's going to matter. I mean, Seth has really made up points. Max now trying to get around Figueroa. It might be vice versa, but I think Figueroa was ahead of him. Not too far from the finish here. Coming into the closing stages of this one, hopefully everyone has this figured out, so they won't be running each other over anymore. Fitzwater trying to get around RJ Bishop. This is Bishop's 2nd entry in the season. Trying to get a top 10 here today. 48th in the standings. I don't think they can really do much about getting out of the position that they're in right now. They're still going to have to qualify for Darlington and Charlotte after that. Austin Pebbles, he was involved in that incident earlier. Currently now in the 11th spot. Had the lead for a minute, so we still got a machine that could do it, potentially. Let's find out here. Vanderhorst falling out of the top 10, same as Vargas. I think we mentioned that earlier, but just kind of forgot because he was in the top 10 for like a second when we started. Approaching 20 to go. Connolly kind of steadily has been reeling in Harry Klein. Very curious to see where Kiani kind of fits into the points table after this race is done. Same with DeMax. It's going to be interesting to see how many spots he climbs up. Blake Warren, who gained 10 spots last time out at Bristol with a 6th place finish. He might match that here today. Yeah, and there might be another 10 spots for Blake. I think that gets him up into the top 10. Might help out Buddy Barksdale as well as his teammate. And Seth Cole could very well walk away with the points lead here. With Vargas falling out of the top 10. It's only 10 points back on Spike Stinson. He's going to be well ahead of him here. And Hernandez, I think, is out of this one. Yeah. So, pretty big opportunity for everyone who's still running in this race. Which appears to only be 23 people. Out of the 43 we had start, so... War of attrition here at Chicagoland. It's not exactly what I expected, but it is what we got. So, a little less than 20 to go. Harry Klein currently hanging on to the lead. Pretty steady pace here. See if anyone has anything for him. As we get into the closing stages of this one. A little less than 10 to go now. Harry Klein still in the lead, but he's got Nathan Kiani approaching very quickly from behind Spike Stinson as well. Not on the lead lap, but could play a factor into this one. The closest lap traffic ahead is Joey Murphy. That's some track away, but I'm sure they'll catch up to him at some point. Kiani losing about a 10th that last time by. Figueroa with a pretty silent, good run here today. They did not qualify for Atlanta. Probably good for them. They avoided potential injury, most likely. 35th place running at Homestead, and a DNF at Daytona. So this is a very needed finish for that 38 machine for Ryan Reed Motorsports. Zachary Fitzwater, 20th in the standings. Going to be well ahead of that, I'm sure, coming out of this one. Going to be his best finish since Homestead, where he finished 3rd. Yeah, P5 here today if he can hang on to it. Blake Warren trying the high side to get around Eric DeMax, or complete a pass on RJ Bishop. Not too sure which one of those. But we mentioned they gained 10 spots from a 6th place finish last time out. Could potentially gain similar amount of spots here. RJ Bishop, I'm sure, is going to leapfrog a lot of people at the bottom of the points table, setting themselves up to get out of the LCQ zone if they can keep qualifying for races like this and keep putting on finishes like they are. And of course, Seth Cole, who's just working their way up through the top 10 here. Every spot that's one more point that they're putting on Spike and Luis and Tristan, Roberto, Christian Vargas, Ryan Jasper, just pretty much everyone is up there. Yeah, Jacques Lecoq is also in the top 10, just not having a good run. Top 10 of points, I should say. But 5 to go. The focus we are going to solely put on this battle for the lead here. Does Kiani have anything left in the tank for that Toyota of Harry Klein? This would match Chevy in terms of the wins for the manufacturer standing. And Chevy getting a P3 here today. I think I might leapfrog Toyota ahead in the manufacturer point standings. We'll see. Of course, Season 1 of MRC Cup and Lights as well, or the Gold Series, I should say. These cars and drivers are completely even, as they would be. They're stepping into these vehicles for the first time. We don't know who's good where. But once you get to Season 2, you have a driver's champion. A little bit of a boost there in funding. You have a team champion as well. A little bit of boost in R&D and funding there. But the manufacturer standings, that's going to be an across-the-board upgrade for a lot of teams that might need that. And Toyota so far, I mean, they've been putting on very strong performances. Tied with Chevy in the polls. And they look to be tied with Chevy in wins coming out of this one here today if Klein hangs on for one more lap around. And he very well might do it. Harry Klein, who started 10th here today. And he's got the white flag. Kinda has been just very silent in the last couple of races. Those two 16th place finishes I mentioned back-to-back at Homestead and Atlanta. And just kind of a very silent 27th at Bristol, but today, silent no longer. Brings that ace in Toyota Camry to the start for the final time. That is Harry Klein taking the win at the United Airlines 200 at Chicagoland. Very, very solid performance for that 66. They have definitely been the most dominant car of this race as a whole. Nathan Chiani with a very good second place finish. That's going to propel him up the standings pretty well as well for that team. Dylan Connolly from the pole to third place. Very respectable finish there. Allison Figueroa making their first start in a minute. Well, actually they made Bristol, I should say, but very clean performance for them as well. Fitzwater, good run for him. DeMax just continuing that streak of good finishes. Bishop, Cole, Barksdale, Warren, Warren, Barksdale, I guess. Austin Pebbles, AJ Jones, Christian Vargas, Cam Vanderhorst, Matt Mitchell, Victor Nunez, Seth Tickle, Tyler Suskrai, Cody Lamas, Joey Murphy, both the Alpha Connolly guys are finishing in the top 20, and that is it for the cars on the lead lap. We'll take a look at the full results and points shortly. Well, once again, congratulations to Harry Klein. Very good run for them here today. Good run for Revolution Racing across the board with the 1st and 13th. And we'll see how the points shake out after this one. United Airlines 200 is over after a lot of cautions. More cautions than I wanted to see, but hey, it's over, and we'll be on to Darlington after that. But quick look at the results and the points, and we'll get going here. Alright, taking a look at the full race results here from the United Airlines 200 from Chicagoland. We mentioned pretty much the entire top 10. Once again, congrats to Harry Klein. Dylan Connolly started from the pole in P3. The Warren Racing boys will finish out the top 10. Blake Warren and Buddy Barksdale with the 9th and 10th. Seth Cole just continues his tear, even missing one race. Most likely going to come out of this one with the points lead, as we'll take a look at that when we can. Austin Pebbles, AJ Jones, Christian Vargas, Cam Vanderhorst, Matt Mitchell, Victor Nunez, Seth Stickle, Kyle Sustrike, Cody Lamas, and Joey Murphy. I mentioned them once already. Don't know why I did it again, but there they are. That's everyone who finished on the lead lap there. And we're going to have a mixed match of cars who finished and a lot of cars who did not here. So Spike Stinson finishing in 21st, one lap down after that just kind of errant pit stops that he had to take. Michael Sweeney did not finish the race. 22nd place for him. 4 laps down. Jack Cock is your last remaining car still running in the race. And then everyone who did not finish, unfortunately, just involved in accidents. Carter Friesen, Gabriel Homo, Bobby Jones, Ash Curtis, Williams, Hernandez, Camel Rosard, and Tristan Woolhoit, your top 30. Crown Jr., Rodriguez, Breeding, Reynolds, Lucas, Mendez, Rivera, Schizato, Jasper Williams, your 40 there. And debuting Skylar Taylor, unfortunately just not having the best run there. And Shane Sides, unfortunately finishing in last here today for Team SB. Just very unfortunate for Sides. He did have a very good start to the season, but after that just not looking too hot. And your standings after 5 races, I did mention Cole probably had the points lead, and indeed he does. He will lead over 3 points over Spike Stinson. Vargas getting 2 spots in 3rd. Keanu getting 5, moving up to 4th place. Hernandez, who looked to be having a good run, just falls down to 5th. Will White Crown Jr. and Ward Barksdale and Harry Klein join your top 10 point standings here, getting 9, 7, and 13 spots respectively there. Harry Klein, that win, man, very big for him there. Zach Fitzwater, Matt Mitchell, Tess Tickle III, Jacques Decaux, Cody Lamas, Dylan Connolly, Ryan Jasper, man, you just have all the Alpha Connolly guys here, 15 through 17. Eric DeMax continuing his kind of road to redemption there. 8 spots gained for him, 18th and 19th for Nunez and 20th for Gabriel Homo. As Curtis, Pedro Lucas, Emi Scazzotto, Carter Friesen, Shane Sides, Eric Rodriguez, Michael Sweeney, Carler Susrai, Joey Murphy, and Allison Figueroa, your top 30. And below the cut line, Carlos Mendez, Awesome Pebbles, Bobby Jones, who stays put where he is, RJ Reynolds and AJ Jones, the J's there, and another RJ in 38 there. Aiden Smith, Cam Vanderhorst moving up, as Vanderhorst and RJ Busham moving up pretty heavily up there, trying to work their way ahead of the top 30 as Mr. Motorsports, I'm sure, would love to see that 24 out of the zone that they're in, as they've been fighting all season. 02 and 89 teammates, of course, for Nova Sport, doing everything they can to get out of there. And AJ Jones starting after Aiden Smith with more points. I'm sorry, Aiden just had. Amoto and Dane Stinson, 2 Toyotas running up the 40s there. And even further back in the war for attrition, Braden Rivera with Sard gaining some spots today. DJ Curtis, Corey Williams, Richard Johnson, Calvero, Tristan Allen, George Buffle, and Ryan Reed in 50th. And Stephen Cullen and a debuting Skylar Taylor rounding out the end of the point standings there. Alright, so the next time that you will see MRC action, they will be from Darlington Motor Speedway, so bring your throwback schemes. You're going back in time here at Darlington. And yeah, throw back to legends of old, and we'll see you there next time for some variation of a Southern 500. I'm not sure what we're going to call it yet, who's going to give us money, if anybody, after this one, after all the cautions. But yeah, yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, take care.